start streaming again, and we'll see how this goes.
Right. I saw they did upload, by the way.
Yeah, I'll just double back and delete it later. I'm in no rush. But yeah, I was just like drawing. Like, you seen Infinity War, right?
Thursday with friends.
Yeah, so like before we had like, I don't know if it was like before or after. Like, I started coming up with the idea before we watched Infinity War on Thursday, me and Nova. But then like afterwards, I'd like finalize the idea with like more sketches and shit. And basically, I created the concept of a short little comedic comic strip following what's it? A moment from Avengers 2, which I don't think you've seen. Where Tony's saying something along the lines of, you guys say Cap's the leader, but I'm the one who makes all. Yeah, he's the leader, alright, but I make all the cool shit. I pay for everything, but yeah, you're right. Being sarcastic and kind of dicky. And then I flash forward 3 years later, and the main joke is he's been replaced by Black Panther's little sister, making cool shit for everybody, like Bucky's arm, Cap's weird fish shields, the new Black Panther suit, and I was gonna have it be like a funny little, like, kind of like burly men like fashion lineup, until she's like, oh yeah, what cool shit have you done recently? And he's like, I was busy making a cool suit, and it's like Spider-Man hops up and he's all like, oh yeah, he made my suit too. It's like kind of good. He's like, don't worry, Mr. Stark, he made my suit. Remember me? And it's like, Tony's just like, he's just not happy because like this girl's showing him up a little bit. And so I thought that I'd cash in on that Infinity War hype by getting on this drawing train. And I've been having fun, and I was like using some Robert Downey Jr. reference, and I've been enjoying the results. Like, this is legit good. Like, I enjoy this face less than this face down here, but I still enjoy it all the same because I'm just having a good old time. But it was dawning on me that it was taking a while for me to draw this shit out. So it was just like, how do I combat that issue of drawing shit and not releasing it until it's done? And I was like, oh yeah, wait, these motherfuckers stream. That's how they do it. That they just like show you the behind the scenes, and they're like, oh yeah, that's content. And I'm not trying to insult that way of doing things because I'm using it with no shame right now. So like, it's just a means for me to feel like I'm accomplishing something with like a very short span of time. And yeah, and the good thing about it is I can just feel like I could probably listen to my music through my phone or watch a YouTube video while I'm doing this and probably just talk aloud, and that's good enough. So like, if I don't have you here like I do right now, Draven, I could always like listen to like this Kevin Hart skit on YouTube, and just like derive commentary between the art that I'm doing and the conversation that's happening. Well, not conversation. Anyway, I'm tired and it's been a long day, but like I'm going anyway.
A bit on.
What was that? Draven? Dragoon.
Huh?
Oh, I lost you there for a moment.
We're checking back and forth between the audio and the stream and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
It's lagging.
I assume you were saying it's lagging so bad. Either that's my fault because of the internet, or it's just how bad my shit is. I don't know.
It might be just your internet connection.
Sometimes them's the breaks, you know. But I gotta get this content out, and I gotta do things like.
You just might want to.
Hold up. What was that, Draven? I'll wait. I'll wait for whatever's happening to you to stop happening. Oh.
Hello?
Yeah. This was working better earlier. I don't know what the issue is.
Possible.
Is it? Oh, well.
You there?
Yeah, I'm there. Are you there?
I hear you now.
Alright, so we seem clear. Yeah, it seems like we're clear now. So, yeah. Granted, I don't have to do this, but I'm just choosing to. And it might not be the best with the internet as it is, but
Yeah, like I said, invest in an Ethernet cord.
you know, yeah. But at the same time, that's like in a specific, like the box is in a specific room in the house, and it's not my room.
Dude, mine's like across the house.
Oh yeah, we can. Oh yeah, a really long Ethernet cord. I forgot that we could do that.
You know, I'm using two really long cords as it is with an extender, but
Yeah.
I'm sure where the box is, it's way shorter compared to where it is right here.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Also, going on what I've heard of what you said about what you plan on doing in the future. This is kind of also comparing to what I've done when drawing on stream. A very few times is, did you take it offline?
No, I think I should still be streaming right now.
I think it's like cutting back and forth between streaming and not streaming.
Well,
That's kind of weird, but it may, I don't know, but like from the only things I've done when streaming art is I've either just had Raul to talk with me, or I've just played music I like, and that's really about it.
yeah, but yeah, the thing is about playing music that I like is like, it's like I just don't want to get copyright struck. So like,
Well, I listen to Anarchy Reigns, so
yeah, you see, you listen to that like that fucking. I don't know. I was going to call it weeb shit, but I was like, I'm not sure if that's weeb shit. So
it's not, and also you're in the wrong shot of the fire there, pal.
like I can.
Wrong line of fire.
I can mock weeb shit because I am weeb shit. You see, it's
Yeah.
I have that right. It's completely my own.
Well, you see, Max can get away with that because he said he was once a part of weeb shit. That's how he can get away from that. But still being part of it doesn't help.
Alright, my boy
Yeah.
Black Panther. He's super cool. Like I'm honestly like spoilers for Infinity War, by the way, but he doesn't really get to do much in the movie, and that's kind of a shame.
Yeah, because like a couple guys and then that's about it.
Yeah, but he's probably gonna have a larger part in Avengers 4.
Oh yeah, he will.
So yeah, how did you feel about the movie anyway?
Here's your buffer spoiler warning if anyone listening on stream. I thought it was alright. I really want to just go ahead and say about the ending part, I don't really have that much of like a deep emotional connection with any of the characters. I
Yeah.
really know. Yeah, because like from the cinematic universe, watch some here and there, and then again, I don't really give that much of a shit throughout like a huge majority of the characters. Well, I get most of my love from like Marvel vs. Capcom, and that's really about it.
Yeah, you know that's fine. That's a perfectly valid opinion, but like honestly, after seeing it twice, I still think it's a really good movie. I enjoyed myself both times, but the thing about the ending where Thanos snaps his fingers and everyone just kind of dies.
Like half the universe's population.
Yeah, half the universe population dies, and like most of our new people just like fade into ash. It's like everyone but Spider-Man kind of didn't really give a shit. Like the people who were dying, you know, like because like we saw like everyone looking, and we didn't get to really see a solid emotional reaction from anybody watching them fade away, really. And besides like a moment with like Black Panther's like supreme like captain of the guard, general of the guard, and Rocket for a moment with Groot, and like the main emotional connection to the fact that like everyone was just dying was the fact that like there was Tony and Spider-Man, where Spider-Man, Peter was like, I don't want to go, Mrs. Stark, I don't want to go, and it's like, oh fuck, each time that shit hit me like a fucking wall. But like when Star-Lord is like saying, oh man, as he's fading away, like, bro, what the fuck you think this is? This is, you're dying. You are literally dying. And you're like, oh man, better luck next time. Like, that's a fucking thing, what?
That's kind of like in Child's Play, the guy who turns into Chucky. He gets shot and he's fatally wounded and he goes, oh damn, and that's it. He's dying, he's like, shit. I'll turn into a doll.
Yeah, I don't get it personally. It's just like, yeah, but like, I feel like if we, Doctor Strange, his whole thing where like how he was emotionally invested in that made sense. But like, you know, we couldn't get it like with everybody, but we should have tried a little bit harder on it, I gotta say. We should have tried a little bit more. Let's try a little bit harder to make that like on a rewatch feel more significant, because everyone's death up until that point, Loki, Gamora, you know, even Heimdall, everyone who died outside of that, you kind of felt like the weight of each of their deaths, but like
Gamora's was oddly edited because it just like I felt the shot of her like body was kind of unneeded. Like it made it goofy to me, and I couldn't like feel anything from it.
Goofy, okay, yeah, like I don't know, cause like I thought that like seeing like the reality of what happened rather than just like seeing her fall and then getting the idea, oh yeah, she's dead now. Because the thing is, they have to show you the body in these movies. In most movies, if you don't see the body, like, there's like a level of doubt in your mind, right? About what had happened, if they're really dead, so and so on and so forth. But like, you really can't deal with that. Like, you can't have that be like, oh yeah, I think she could have survived falling off because it's a superhero movie. And seeing it, like, because like, I think she was like laying, and like after falling, like,
she was on her back, like her leg moved up.
Yeah, like, I was...
Like, the way it was shot and like filmed looked goofy, like the body position and whatnot.
Oh no.
They should, like, the way how like tracked up to her body, it should have just been like a shot.
Yeah.
Cut to it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Like, at the end of the day, like, the main thing that I noticed, like, the second time watching when that happened was, like, I think there was, like, some like, blood of hers, like, you know, a little bit of a pool coming out of her head. And I was like, oh, And I was like, oh, fuck, okay. That's a thing. And I was like, I was thinking about how many kids were watching this movie. And I was like, damn, they seen some shit, like, in this movie. Like, if, like, some parents were like, I'm just I want to have my little kid come see Infinity War. I'm all like, you might want to think about that. Like, cause, like...
Kids see worse things nowadays.
But, like, here's the thing, like, I remember, like, seeing some, like, small children in there, like, in both theaters that I went to, and I was, like, thinking, man, when Loki is just dying, and the way they do it is, like, so fucking brutal.
Yeah, or you get choked to death.
He gets choked to death, and I'm like, maybe kids should not be seeing this, but, like...
It was PG-13, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Like, honestly, like, I feel like with some things, because, like, it's interesting that it's PG-13 when, like, we explicitly, like, we didn't see it, like rendered completely, right? But there was a moment where a woman, like, even though she's an alien, right, was thrown into the air and was ripped apart by giant saw machines. And
oh yeah,
yeah, and it was like, it's PG-13, and I'm like, okay, bro, that happened. So
I completely forgot that happened, honestly.
Nah, bro, I forget nothing. Honestly, I feel like when I experience media, like, in a way that's, like, significant, like, the first time I watched Batman vs. Superman, I remember I had an argument with Nova about the plot details because I was, like, all things that we were doing for a hot minute after I saw that movie. And, I was, like, at one point she said, like, Lester, it's only because you've thought about this for so long after you'd watched it. And, like, I was insistent that no, these were thoughts that I put together in theater. Please do not suggest that I needed like 2 weeks time to formulate this opinion of mine. And it's just like, it's very quick for me to, like, make connections to a film and, like, hold on to each detail of the plot. There are some shit I might forget about, but, like, it's a lot fewer than, like, other people. Like, I still remember Thor: The Dark World with relative accuracy, and that movie is kind of blah. I will not even lie, that movie is kind of blah. Have you ever... Oh yeah, you've only heard from Nova that it's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Wait, Ragnarok?
No, not Ragnarok, Thor: The Dark World.
Wait. Yeah, I haven't seen Dark World.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah.
It opens on an interesting premise, and then, like, it kind of drifts away from that premise. Like, it was like the realms are destabilized. I don't fucking know. I can't form words right now. The realms have been, like, destabilized, and so, like, Thor and the Warriors 3 have to go out and bring order back, but that's like the first 5 minutes, and then we're back to, like, Jane Foster in, like, London with her nothing boyfriend trying to get over the fact that she was in a relationship with a god, like, a couple years ago. So, like, it is highly Jane-centric, which is part of the issue with the film, because she's not interesting. Like, not really. Like, as a scientist, she's probably the most nothing scientist in this universe, because I don't really buy her scientist, like, role, and none of the science shit she does is interesting. But, we follow her for most of the film trying to find Thor again, and it's like the Dark Elves show up, and they're kind of like fighting in Asgard, but Asgard isn't interesting on its own. So honestly, a movie about Thor and the Warriors 3 traveling the Nine Realms and coming across dark elves and fighting them and keeping it from like getting the reality stone would have been a better movie, but they just didn't do that. And so it took Thor Ragnarok till we had like a really solid, like great Thor movie. Like Thor 1's good, but this was great.
Yeah, I really loved Ragnarok.
It's just good. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess since we're on a stream, to tell you an interesting story of how I got to go see Infinity Ward. Bryce apparently had 2 tickets and no one else wanted to go with him, so he asked me.
No one else wanted to go see Infinity War. Bryce, why is everyone a dick?
It was either that or just nobody else. Like, wait, let me look at our direct messages. Just to clarify. I heard that the theater we went to is literally called Epic Movie Theater.
Yep. Sure, that won't get a reaction from anybody that I know.
Oh yeah. He says, so like I have 2 tickets to Infinity War tonight, but no one to go with. You want to come?
And you were like, hells yeah, bruh. I loves me some Marvels, bruh. Honestly, it's just the best. And he was like, you know, Draven, is that sarcasm that I'm reading? And you were like, how the fuck can you read sarcasm? And then, and then it's just like, Bruce, like, you didn't have to attack me. And then you're like, yeah, I fucking did. You're a fucking idiot. And
that's why people ship us.
You know, that's the version of the ship that they go with, where he's like,
he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's a huge asshole. He's just like, come, just like, please.
But yeah, it was I saw it then with him. There was one point to where we saw Red Skull in the movie.
Yeah.
You're fucking, what is it, like an hour in? Not even that.
Yeah.
I had a stupid look on my face because I was thinking, it's like Red Skull from Captain America. And I saw Bryce like in the corner of my eye look at me like I look stupid or something. Like I was squeaking with my mouth like open a little.
Yeah, because, dude, you're the only one who's like, oh, wait, what? Like, that's a Red Skull? No, it's like everyone else in the theater, right? Because, like, most of the people in there are like, oh, man, I've been on this train for 10 years. It's time to finally reach the station. They're like, oh, goddamn, it's Red Skull. Finally, all my fan theories have been confirmed. And, like, you're just like, Red Skull? Like, from Captain America? Really?
I think you're gonna go to the direction of like nobody, like everyone's like, yeah, I've been hyped for this movie for a while. I watch all the Marvels, and then they go there and see that like, who the fuck is that chuckle fuck?
No, because like, what's it? During Phase 1, I think he was like, besides Loki, he was like, I've seen this online where people like say how Red Skull is like a good Marvel villain. But I'm not sure if that's still the consensus or if he's like one of the blah ones where everyone's all like he has no personality. But like, you know, we had a theory for a hot minute that because like at the end of Captain America, the first Avenger, he's like fades away because he's holding the stone. We thought, oh man, maybe he was teleporting into space instead of them just like killing him off, like that's a thing to do.
I thought he just got eradicated.
Yeah, and
kind of funny.
And it's just like, yeah, so he did get teleported, and he became like a spirit thing.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. A little disappointing, but kind of cool.
Like disappointing for you, maybe.
It is, because like the thought of him getting like eradicated then and there, like obtaining the stone is comical to me, and I find that a little more.
Yeah,
it's cool they showed up, but
yeah,
I found it funny.
And I was just thinking to myself, that stone's a fucking dick, because like Loki and like Thanos was just like casually holding that bitch like several times in this movie. Well, like, you know, Loki for a very limited amount of time, but like still, they were like just holding that shit, and like it was like, not gonna do anything. I'm good. I'm chilling. But like, bro just holds it like in the first Avenger, and it's like, bitch, you going in space now. You fucking thought you could hold me, but you don't have the right. You ain't handsome like Thanos. You got. Yeah. No, you go, bro.
It was a lot of fun seeing the movie, though.
Yeah, bro, it's most definitely a good film. I really like it. It's probably one of my favorite Marvel movies at the moment.
Really?
Yeah, like it's up there. It's up there. It's at least in the top 5 right now.
I'd say it was pretty good, but like, I would say like any Marvel movie is like made like a list of its own to me. Like, this is my favorite or that's my favorite. I just like I'm a fucking casual viewer, so like I care so more. I don't know.
Yeah, man, and like it's fine to be a casual viewer, even though it just means that you're less of a person.
Yeah, I know.
Nah, but seriously though, like it's fine, just like you don't need to be super into these. Like, it's honestly fucking wild that I am, because like I feel like at a certain point in my life I had an apprehension to superheroes, and now I'm just here, and this is who I am now.
This is who I am.
Yeah, this is just who I am now. I'm just.
Do you not know what I'm referencing?
Oh no.
I'm referencing Shadow the Hedgehog.
Bruh, of course you fucking would.
Dude, like, it's an ending. Like, in his game, if you get an ending, he figures out what he is, and it's like, I am Shadow, this is who I am. Or some other shit that can happen.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we played a shit ton of Sonic games on John's stream today, by which I mean we played Sonic 06 for about an hour, and we played some other games like Mario Party.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't really fuck with Nintendo games though, and you know that.
That means you're less of a person, so.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Since I haven't felt the joy, the childhood joy of running around as Mario, yeah.
I was gonna say I like that. You said Nintendo when I said like only like Mario Party and Sonic 06.
Yeah, because
like both are just Nintendo.
Like, really, is there really much of a difference when you really think about it? Like,
Say that we were playing Sonic 06 on the PS3.
When you really think about it. Yeah, that, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, sometimes you think you're playing the PS3, but then you're actually playing the Wii U. Like,
you're playing the N64. You blink and then you're playing the DS.
That's how it works, right? That's entirely how it works.
Is that gaming for you kids?
Yeah. Explicitly, that's kind of. I feel like that's how it works, without a doubt. I feel like
wearing a VR headset and playing the N64.
I feel like already this stream right here that we've done, even though it kind of started off a little slow because I'm fucking, I don't know, I'm just like harder to form thoughts and speak words at the moment, but is now officially probably the best content on my channel.
Let me just tell you one thing. Your first stream is probably like, obviously, your first stream, your first of anything is always going to be your first of anything. Like, so it's like, can only be approved on or some stupid bullshit.
Yeah, like
inspire you.
Yeah, like because recently I've been feeling like I've been stagnating with my art and stuff, but like I was talking to Katie today, and it was kind of like she'd come out earlier on like Instagram to tell me that her mom was watching Naruto again, and
that's funny
because like that's relevant to me and Katie's dynamic, and I was all like, oh yeah, dope, and I was like, I'm kind of lost too because you sent me a blurry ass picture, and we eventually moved from talking about Naruto to talking about what's going on with one another for a brief minute, and she tells me that Well, I'm talking about how I'm drawing and doing more art recently. She's like, yeah, every time I've seen all your sketches on Instagram and you've been improving, and I'm honestly really impressed by it. And I'm like, thank you, because honestly, I have felt like I've been stagnating. And I compare myself probably too often to artists that I think are further along in their self-development. Like,
Yeah.
for years, I've been comparing myself to Jade. And I've been all like, I'm not, how am I never like where she is concurrently,
That's what I used to do too with you and Jay and the other 100 of artists that I look at.
Like, honestly, this takes, I know, it's kind of fucking stupid for me to say this, but it just takes time and practice to get to a certain level. And I believe in time, Draven, you can get there too, to a point where you're all like, I like the way my art looks.
Is this the point where I look at the camera and laugh, or?
No, dude, seriously, you need to believe in yourself and really see what you can possibly do, and imagine how you can get there.
I draw every now and then.
Make it more tangible.
Yeah, I just draw what my interests are in a hot minute, and you can see if it's obvious. Actually, I can only draw traditionally. Obviously, then I go back and look at my stupid Instagram. You'll see that whatever I draw or whatever I'm into at the moment, I just have a hot fuck you call it, not a phase, but is that what it would be called in where you're just into for a second? A hot phase or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that would be a phase.
Yeah. So I have that every now and then with related to drawing, Makoto I had 500 other times on here. Because now and then I'll remember, oh, I love Makoto, she's great. Then I'll go and say, oh, holy shit, Travis is cool. Oh, I tried to draw Amy. It looks terrible. How about Cienko? Alright, going back to Travis and Makoto.
Yeah, I feel like I have phases where I'm more I want to draw a particular thing, and I move out to go and explicitly just work on that kind of subject matter. Recently, speaking of a common ground that lies between us, I was on Rule 34, and I was
that conversation, give me a second.
and I was looking up some characters here and there, and I was noticing how for Scarlet Witch, right, from Avengers fame, that it was kind of she only had really she had a couple of gems here and there, but most of it wasn't any good. It wasn't worthy of my Scarlet Queen. So I'm thinking I need to be the change I want to see in the world. So if I'm ever getting into Rule 34 art, one of my first goals is going to be get some quality Scarlet Witch out there. Because I saw this comic yesterday and it completely killed the vibe. Because it was one of those comics that you can't tell by the thumbnail, but it's some gore shit. It's on some gore shit. Where Thanos is forcing himself on her, and that's I've seen these before. I've seen,
Yeah.
and I'm okay, the moral depravity of here is I of course would not want a real person or Scarlet Witch to be in this situation, but this is within my realm, at least near the outskirts, at the very least. And then he just talks about breaking her neck, and I'm no, this is explicitly in the dark realm that I don't fuck with. And he does it, and I just continue, it's a 3-page comic, and I keep reading it because I'm I just need to fucking conclude what this story this person thought was a thing he should or she should draw. And I finish it, and the prospect of him drawing any more of these with Thanos fucking killing and like raping the corpses of any of the other Avenger girls. I was like, no, please, don't do that. You are not the change I want to see. You're actually the opposite. Stay away from Scarlet Witch. You do not have the right. Like, it was funny because it reminded me of this thing I read on iFunny where it was a post someone made on like a religious website. I think like for like a Baptist church. And it was like someone saying, "Oh yeah, you know, I really would have liked to be there when Jesus was hung on the cross, looking all hot and shit. I would have sucked him off while he was like strapped up and defenseless on the cross." And like, you know, the implication is he can't fucking stop you because he's being nailed to a cross. And someone I think it was a Tumblr post, someone responded underneath. I was like, I would have said you need Jesus, but I don't want you anywhere near him. It was like, yeah, I relate. Keep our poor little boy Jesus away from this person. So it goes.
Since you mentioned Rule 34, I've just been on Rule 34 the past minute.
You know, that is what you should do, honestly, when it is brought into the conversation. Just you need
I'm pretty sure a lot of people do that.
Just need to touch up on it.
Just need to do what you like. If you don't like porn, then okay, do what you do. You do like porn and go at it.
You know, I've been looking.
Too rough.
I've been looking at more like live action porn. It's funny that I call it that shit.
Yeah.
Recently.
You even looked a lot of that in like the past. But as far as like our experience of talking.
Yeah, like I like in every session I go there like once or twice, and it's like it's weird.
It's every blue moon.
No, like it is like every time like I go there, so it's like it is quite frequent.
Yeah.
It's just weird how like a lot. It just might be like this, like because I go to Pornhub, and there's like just like so much like incest, not incest premise shit, like
yeah, a lot.
Like stepsis, stepmom, stepsis, and like
yeah.
I see these, and some of them have the most fucking ridiculous premises. I swear to God, there was this one
live action porn.
There was one where a guy carved a pumpkin, right?
Yeah.
Like right in front of like his mom in the kitchen. He cut a hole into the pumpkin, right? And while she's not looking, just put his dick in the pumpkin and let the while walk off with it. And then his stepsister comes up, opens the pumpkin, and just jerks him off in the pumpkin. And their mom notices and sees what they're doing and grounds them. And then, like, later, he goes up to her, like, "Oh yeah, let's continue what we were doing," and like, it's like she acts like, because like earlier when she was acting in front of her mom, like, "Oh, I didn't know that his dick was in the pumpkin," and then she's all like, "Oh, what we knew was wrong," and like, it was gross that you had your dick in a pumpkin. I'm like, bitch, why was you jerking him off then? Why are you gonna double back? And why are you gonna act like you have the more high ground here? You're the one who engaged in it. You don't. And I read the comments beneath this video because at some points of this video, right, the mom was just like cleaning in the kitchen and shit while they're like blatantly fucking in the living room, and she has a vacuum cleaner at one point. That shit ain't even plugged in, right? And like at one point she explicitly says, while like dude is like getting sucked off while stepsis is hiding behind the couch, I'm stretching, doing yoga, I can't couldn't keep stretching with you in here. And like, she's like, let me finish vacuuming. And she's just rolling a silent vacuum cleaner back and forth. And I'm like, oh my fucking god, what the fuck? Like,
again, Lester, welcome to live action porn.
But yeah, so like, and honestly, it really just depends, cause like, it's amazing that I'm just not talking about porn, but yeah, it's like, whenever I go to live action porn, unless like I'm making a real point to like experience whatever I was like, whatever video I clicked on, I click on like, put 3 tabs of a video, eventually get back to it, see like 2 minutes of one video, and by that point, after like this backlog of shit that I had already worked through up to get to that point, I'm done. I go back to whatever shit I was doing on the internet, on the computer, and probably later on in the night, because I'm in that mood, that mindset, I just go back to the porn. But like, it's like probably like 80% of the time I'm like on live action porn for like 10% of my time looking at porn.
Yeah, I flip flop between like live action and just like drawn or animated. Because fucking, it's just what I've been doing for the past like how many years now?
Yeah, like it was probably the first kind of porn that I'd ever seen was like hentai. So like,
yeah. Well, the
just,
first ever porn I ever like found and like looked at was live action. So that's why like I kind of, I don't know. I think it is like both. Just a lot.
you know, like, of course, like I like live action porn because girls are beautiful and I like seeing that. But like, it's like also the fact that like I'm kind of like pre like set to like look for fucking hentai manga and read that shit, read the story as I'm like, oh yeah, this is because it depends, because like sometimes when I'm all like I just want to like do the session, I'm like, let's go to a doujin I've already read, so I don't have to read it. I'm just there for the visuals. There's sometimes I'm like, let's absorb a new hentai doujin, and that happens, and it's like, okay, and so that's and it's just like I move from there. Fuck, I don't know what to do with Black Panther's hands right now, cause like, hold up.
Yeah, I was looking at you like stare at it for a bit there.
Let me just erase that hand right there.
But yeah, I kind of do that too, to where like I'll go, hey, I want to kind of revisit this thing. Let me not read that, and then I read it.
Yeah. What's I was like, I don't know, like, okay, at this point, anyone who's listening to this shit has already judged me. I don't give a fuck. I was looking at, I was on Moat Porn, if you'd ever heard of that.
Alright, looking it up. What is it?
Molt porn, like, you know the word multi? You know, like the word multi?
Oh, wait, this might sound familiar. What the fuck is molt porn?
It's just like, kind of like a Rule 34, like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It was just a fetish or something.
What? No, it's not a fetish thing. Yeah, I was on there, and I was looking at the Sonic comics.
Alright.
And
going to a great place.
Yeah, it's a great place. And I was like thinking, oh yeah, you know, this is the I was like, I'm Draven now for a minute. Then
I am Draven now.
But like at the same time, I was like, I'm not gonna fuck with that dog shit. If it's gotta look good. And
what character was it?
It was actually. Have you ever heard of Sonic Underground?
Yeah.